Hello virtual village hallers, it's Kerry with half an hour of mindful Mobilates for you. I'm going to be looking out in this comments box just over here just to see if anyone is joining me live, if you can spare a few moments during these busy times. So we've got half an hour to be chill and get moving, and it is a bit of a busy time. Everyone gets very wound up, so let's take this time to get ourselves nice and relaxed. So take your feet a little wider if you're sitting. If you're standing, take your feet a little wider if you're sitting too. And remember, you can do this class standing or sitting, or even sitting on your bed, because halfway through we're going to move down to either the floor, or you might be doing it on your bed. Just pull the duvet back so you've got a flatter surface. Is that Irene? Hello, Irene. Get yourself ready for some breath work. Let your belly be a little bit softer. You want room, so when you breathe in here, all around your ribs, your lungs have got room to fill, your diaphragm's coming down. As you breathe in, your palms go up. As you breathe out, your palms come down. So easy. I hope maybe some of you are in your Christmas finery as well. And we've got Christmas tunes today, a mix of sort of jazz versions and traditional. If you're sitting, you might want to close your eyes. If you're standing and you're feeling brave and safe, you close your eyes too. Couple more. And just let those palms go down. Check in with your legs and your feet. I'm just going to stand a little bit further back, just so you can see my socks, I think. Feet are now hip width apart, and that's your inner hips, not your outer hips. If you're sitting, it's 2 fists apart. Spread your feet out. You've probably got socks on, maybe slippers, shoes. And we can't always feel the ground quite as securely as when it's a bit warmer. So just take a bit of time just to sort of knead through your feet, a bit like a cat, and spread them out. As you do that, as you're spreading into the surface beneath you, just feel you can pull up a little taller now. The top of your head, even with a headdress or antlers on, just bring that a little taller. Feel a bit of the stretch in that spine. Open out across here. And as you do that opening out, shoulders start going back just a little, and then we're going to dip our tailbone down, so you get a little bit of lengthening here, and then it comes back. So you can see there's just a slight change in my t-shirt there. There's just a lengthening. If I put my hand on the front and the back there, you can see there's my back lengthening, and then if I swap it round, you can see my belly lengthening on this side. So there, it gets a bit shorter here, and now it gets a little longer. It's just a pelvic tilt. And you're feeling into your back what's going on. That's it. Same if you're sitting. Lovely. And then come up somewhere in between those two positions. And you feel that you're balanced. You're neither forwards nor backwards, and that doesn't matter whether you're sitting or standing. And then we're just going to take the head round from one side to the other, keeping this openness right across here. That's it. And you'll probably find you can go further on one side than the other. Totally normal. We're so often asymmetric in our movements. And then looking up. So imagine you're looking to the sky, the stars, that's what I was thinking of. Northern lights. It's solstice today, so you might be looking up to the end of the daylight and then into the moonlight. And we're just rolling round. And as you're doing this, you're keeping a little bit of resistance in your neck so your head doesn't fall forwards. Now, some people like to go full circle on this. I'm going for a sort of generous half circle. Some people stay down the bottom and just go for a really small arc. Just go for what's right for your neck. And then roll it up, bring it back up. We're going to do a little tilt over to one side. That's it. Ear towards shoulder. Bring it back. Other ear towards shoulder. Watch that this area just stays horizontal. Imagine the spirit level right in the center. So you're just trying to avoid that. You're just putting all the effort into this area. One more each side. And then start some shoulder rolls. Start them small. If you've got a lot of fatigue going on, keep them small. Feel those circles. And you might be getting circles as your fingers just brushing against your thighs. Imagine this part of your shoulder here drawing a circle. Maybe starting to squeeze it back a bit more. We're just trying to avoid pushing our ribs forwards like that. So just keeping the body fairly still. Keeping that movement right in your shoulders. That's it. And then we're going to take our elbows up. Now your hands anywhere around here, doesn't really matter, because it's the elbows that are just circling out. That's it. Oh, Gloria, that was good to hear. I like to do a little neck movement every day. It's an area that gets so stiff, neck and shoulders. And then from this, we're going to cross our arms over here. If you're sitting, you'll have your hands just resting here. And I want you to imagine that we're taking our Christmas jumpers off. I mean, one of those things we wear a lot this time of year. So Christmas jumper off. And then spread your arms out. Give your fingers a little wiggle. Cross the arms the other way. Christmas jumper off. You can even look up and then stretch your fingers out. Give a little wiggle. Think snowflakes falling. Or a bit of it's Christmas glitter, seasonal sparkle. That's it. One more of these. Big breath in as you do it. Big breath out as those fingers wiggle down. And then we're going to put the jumpers back on again. So for this, imagine that you're pulling the sleeve on, push the arm in, pulling the other sleeve on. Good stretch down the side. That's it. Pull the sleeve on, pull the neck on, wiggle into it. And put another one on, extra layers. And then wiggle into it. And another one, stretching up, wiggle into it. One more. I think that's 4 or 5 Christmas jumpers on, many off. Sort of balance each other out. Right, little wiggle for everything. And now we're going to embrace our inner fairy. So for this, up come your arms, your wings, and then down. Look at the soft shape, so really soft arms. It looks like a little circle. Just coming up and down, keeping those shoulders quite relaxed. That's where the soft shape helps. Lovely. Now, we're going to bring a balance into it. So if I'm standing, thinking really nice and tall here, I'm going to pull in a little bit here, give me a bit of power going up, and then take these arms just up to this height and down. If I'm sitting, his legs are in 90-degree L shape, arms across like that, and you might take your arms a little higher. So instead of starting them lower down, start them here and take them up. That's it. You're just coming up. I'm trying to get my toes in. There. Onto your toes. Or the ball of your foot. That's it. And if you just imagine yourself shooting straight up, that tends to help with the balance. If you need to do it with a bit of support and do a single arm balance, that's all good too. That arm can go a bit higher. You might even get it right overhead. It's reminding me of those jewellery boxes with the ballerina in it. A Christmas present from many years ago. In fact, it wasn't mine. It was my sister's. But, oh, I can remember that. It must be about 1978. And then take that down. We're going to go for a little wide stretch this time. So legs are going outwards, feet are pointing outwards. If you're sitting, take your legs nice and wide like this and start leaning from one side to another. If you're sitting, keep your sitting bones, your bottom right down on the chair. That's it, just pushing away each side. If you're standing, just lean over to each side, knees going over your foot. That's it. Just leaning into it. And then we're going to start drawing an arm across. Now this is for the solstice today. I thought we'd draw a sun. And this is where you want to really stretch out arms, fingers, nice and long. Big breath, it's quite a big movement. In Devon, it hasn't really rained in the part of Devon I'm in today. And we have actually seen a little bit of sun, which is always nice for that midwinter shortest day to actually get a glimpse of the sun. The last one's coming up and then we're taking it back to festivities. So imagine just bringing those legs in. You're at a party. You are serving the food. It's balanced on your palms, so it's palms upwards. Fingers next to each other if you can. If they're out, that's okay. But your elbows into the sides, that's it. And then we're just going to offer some snacks out. So imagine your hand as a plate. Mini sausage rolls, cheese and pineapple on sticks. I'm going a bit 1970s again there. That's it. Now you'll probably find, just like when we did those neck tilts, it's not the same on each side. And you might find that one arm opens up a lot, the other arm just a bit. Just go with it. If you want to do a few extra on a tight side, and you just push it to an edge. You don't have to push it any further than that. That's it. Try it together. Offering all the snacks to all the people on the side of us. One of my favourite moves, this one. Always makes me laugh a little. Right, we're going to start offering out even further. Now, your arm might only extend that far, that's fine. Just go with whatever your body is doing today. And remember, it may be asymmetric. We can try it together. And then, if you're feeling really brave, just like we did before, we can come up onto the balls of our feet. Oh, I didn't go very high there. My feet did not want to go. That's it. And if you're sitting, just the same. Bringing your heels up. You can even take your legs together. So they're right next to each other if you're standing, right next to each other if you're sitting. Makes the balance a little bit more wobbly, but what's the balance without a bit of wobble? And if you want to do this one-armed again with a bit of support, you might be using fireplace. That's it. Chair. Last one. And then just walk your legs, just make them nice and soft. And we're going to bring a bit of Christmas tree into it, or an evergreen. So if you're standing, we're just going to pivot on one foot. So you might be on the ball of your foot, or you could even have your foot off the floor and just pressed into the side of the other leg. So just pivoting like that. Now if you're sitting, you can do the same like that. You pivot slightly different because this leg is bent. And again, ball of your foot could be on the floor. It's going to tilt a little bit outwards. So it's going to come away. Or you could keep it all up in the air. That's a little bit higher. Feel it more there and into the hip flexor. And then we're going to hold it. Now, if you're sitting, you can then straighten this leg and just balance the other leg on top. It's almost like a flamingo. But think figure 4. And that's your tree position. And then your arms can come out like that. If you're standing, you can keep your toes on the floor, balance that way. Or you can bring that foot somewhere up on the inside of your leg, not your knee though. I've got mine on my calf. Arms out, think tall. And then what's a tree without a little sway of those branches? Imagine a wind blowing, not hard to imagine. Oh, bring that one down, the same on the other side. So start a little bit of a pivot. We're just opening out into the hip. Such a good hip mobilizer, this. And this is where Pilates and yoga cross over. You can see tree pose is a yoga pose. All this external hip rotation and these sort of swivel moves, very Pilates. And then we're going to hold it. You might even be able to take it a little higher. Ooh. Press the sole of the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the sole of the foot. Those arms out. Soft little sway in those branches. Maybe bringing your trunk into it, bending over a little bit at the waist, definitely more challenging. Could just be a few leaves wafting. Just go with what's right for you. If you know your balance is wobbly, just standing still like that might be enough. Final sway. And then bring it down. And then we're going to take those legs wide. And we're going to squat back, hinge back. Now, if you're sitting, just take those legs wide and you're hinging forwards. If you're standing, take your bum back. So that would be the sort of hinge that you've got. Arms are going to be wide, hinging forwards. Doesn't matter if you're on the floor on this one, as in touching the floor with your hands. Just scoop up some snow and throw it around. So sending that bottom back, keeping your back straight, hinging forwards. Lots of circles in the moves today. It's that solstice. Definitely makes you breathe a little bit more, gets the air going, gets the blood pumping a little. Last one. And then take yourself down to the floor or your bed. I'm going to change the angle so you can see my mat. And we're going to sit down to start. So just sitting with your legs bent like that. Let me just take my little board down here. That's it. So from this position, we've got our legs bent. And we want to be sitting right up on our sitting bones, so you're sitting upright. Now, if this all feels a little tight here, you can place your feet so your soles are towards each other and your knees are coming out to the side, and that might be more comfortable for sitting upright. Either way, hands are just going under our thighs. I'm going to take it with my feet that way. If your feet are coming off the mat there, it doesn't matter. There, sit up nice and straight. And then we're going to make our body from where we're in contact with the mat to the top of our head into a letter C shape. So pull your belly back, pull your back towards the wall on the opposite side of the room. Just have a little bow of your head. So you're making that C shape. And then pull up from under your thighs to sitting the crown of your head upright. So let's make that C shape. You'll feel your pelvis roll back a little bit. That's it. And then pull up. Now, if you've got any spinal issues, any problems in the lower back, osteoporosis, keep it a really gentle curve on your C shape. Maybe like that. And then pulling up. What we're trying to avoid is getting a real slump low down here and the rest of our body not really moving the same way. So we're trying to get a sort of fairly even C shape. And now we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more. So you can stay just like that. That may be enough for you. Just putting that small curve in and pulling up. This time we'll go back and there's the option to take your hand off there. So I've just opened mine out to the side, but you could just take it off just there. Then put it back, pull yourself up. Other side, take that hand off. Put it back, pull yourself up. Take it out before you move back. Move, C curve, pull up, put it back. Take the other side off, C curve, pull up, come back. Very nice. Right, slightly different. First, we'll have a little lean back and just let the legs have a little sway to and fro. Stretch them out, wriggle them about, and then pop them back. Again, can be like this or can be like that. Now this time we're not going to do the C curve, we're going to keep straight and we're just going to hinge back. Hands, I would say, just touch your thighs, elbows out to the sides. There's a little bit of room, but you still feel secure. Head stays in line with the body. And I want you to think sleigh ride, because that's where we're going. Try taking your hands off. Imagine you're holding those reins. Reindeer galloping. View all over the world. Hold it there. Slide a leg away. Slide it back. Slide a leg away. Slide it back. Oh, it's quite a challenge, that one. Now, if you find your legs aren't going very far, just make it really small. Just a little movement and back. A little movement and back. Doesn't need to be much. There's lots going on here. And you can always bring it back up here. Take a little break before you go into any more of those. That's it. And if you can get really long legs and really lengthen your toes, gorgeous. And then come upright, arms behind, just let those legs go in and out, in and out. And then we're going to lie ourselves down. So take yourself down to the mat, all the way down, or down to the bed. You can have something underneath your head if you like. Your legs are bent. Bring your knees together, feet together, arms just out to the side, palms upwards. Just going to push that chair backwards. I bet my arms start crashing into it in a minute. Take your feet and knees together, heels out to the side, toes forwards. And just have a little wriggle, make sure that you're comfortable. Check that you're just looking up towards the ceiling. Your head isn't tilted back, and if it is, put something underneath your neck. We're going to do a ho, ho, ho breath. So for this one, we're going to breathe into our rib cage, particularly the sides and the back. And then as we breathe out, it's going to be ho, ho, ho. And you're going to feel that breath exhale, and you'll feel your ribs go down. You get some tightness across here, a little bit of a pulling up feeling here, like when you zip up really tight trousers. So take a breath in. Breathing out, ho, ho, ho. Blow that last bit out. And then just have a little wriggle and a reset. Breathing in again. Santa ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. One more time. Breath in. And breathing out. Ho, ho, ho. And then we're going to put a few pelvic tilts in. So put your hands just on your low belly. And at the moment, I want you to feel a little space just at the small of your back. You can put something under there, a sweet treat, a sprout, whatever takes your fancy. Something small and round, like a Malteser. It could be a pea. It could be a Ferrero Rocher. Take a breath into your ribs. As you breathe out, I want you to sink your belly down. Feel your back, the back of your t-shirt, the back of your top, pressing against that sprout, that pea, that Ferrero Rocher, splatting it. Your bottom starts to tilt upwards and then rock away. Breath into your ribs. As you breathe out, feel that sinking feeling in the back of your top, the back of your t-shirt. That low back squashes into Malteser maybe. One of those little snowball type snowball sweet things. Tilting your bottom up slightly. Rocking forwards, breath in. One more, breathing out, feel that belly sink, feel your lower back sink across the floor, feel the back of your t-shirt, I can't get my words out, squash into your bed, your mat, whatever we've placed underneath, and then just let it roll away. That's it. Right, we're going to take our arms out to the sides in a T shape, palms upwards. Bring your legs in a little bit closer so they're touching. Slide one leg away and back, the other leg away and back. But keep your feet really light on the floor, barely pressing. We've got lots of support today because we've got our arms in that T shape. So just get that motion going. Long feet. And now just let one knee sway out to the side, back to the center to the other knee. Other knee sway out to the side, back to the center of the other knee. That's it, just keep alternating. Lovely. This is such a nice one to do in bed in the morning when you wake up before you've gone out of bed. Or maybe last thing at night before you go to sleep. Right, next one's different. Let it go out to the side and then push that foot away. The foot is turned out slightly. It straightens up as it gets back to here. Bring it up. We're going to go with the same leg. Knee falls out to the side. Let the side of the foot, you've got this turn out in your hip. Push away, slide back. One more this side. Knee sways out. Side of your foot pushes down. Bring that leg back up. Other side, so this leg's going to stay just where it is, still and bent. So that leg sways out to the side. Push that leg away on the side of your foot. Feel it rotate so your foot's in line with your body. And then just bring it back in. You'll find lots of work going on here. Especially as we pull that foot back in. I think we've got 2 more on this side. And we're trying to keep our shoulders, our neck, our jaw nice and soft. And then from this position, legs are bent. Just letting them sway from one side, sway to the other. Your feet completely stuck together. So you're coming onto the sides of your feet. Now your shoulders stay on the floor, your head stays on the floor. Everything else is just rocking and going as far as feels good to you. We're going to put this into a candy cane stretch next. So lengthen your legs. Going to have to give some left and right direction for this one. Take your left leg to the left side of your mat. Now take your right leg over to join it. And if you haven't had a hip replacement, you can cross your legs. If you have had a hip replacement, just leave them by the sides. Now we're going to raise the left arm up, put the right arm next to it, and now with the left hand, grab your right wrist and bring it over. And we're trying to make a sort of candy cane. The important thing is to get a curve here, so it's maybe more of a banana. And then just breathe into that big curvy stretch. And out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, shuffle everything back to the center, arms come down. Right, this leg's going to the right corner of the mat, or just out maybe 2 feet, 1.5 foot. Left leg comes to join it. If you haven't had a hip replacement, you can cross at the ankles. If you have, keep it like that. Arms up. So now we've got the right arm grabbing the left wrist, and then you're just pulling everything over to get a sort of candy cane shape. Head looking up towards the ceiling, or you could roll it over to the side, don't mind. Both are quite nice there. And then think about this big stretch you've got here. You're going to breathe into it. And breathe out. Breathing out through the mouth really slows your breath down. It's nice to do. Breathe in. And breathe out. And bring it back to the center. Bend your legs, bring your arms down. And then we're going to take it. So we roll over and push ourselves up. I'm just going to move my mat back a little. Take your legs comfortable, wide position. So it might be that you're one of those people who like to go super wide. It might be that just like this, just over shoulder width. Just get up somewhere in between. You want to be nice and upright. You can have your fingers behind, pressing away, and then just let your feet just rock in and out. They're not pulled back, they're not pointed, they're just nice and soft. And we can do them alternate. We can do them both coming in and out. That's it. And then bring your toes back towards you, sitting up tall. That's it. Push those heels away. Really stretches those calves. And I know so many people get tight calves. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lengthen those toes away. Trying not to scrunch them up, trying not to get cramp. Breathe in, bring those toes up, flex them towards you. Breathe out, flex them away. And then bring your legs in towards you, sitting as comfortably as you can. I like a cross leg for this one. Soft stretch over to the side. Soft stretch over to the other side. 2 more of those. And then we're going to circle forwards. Spread a little sparkle. So get your fingers just wriggling. That's it. 1 more each side. Bring yourself up. Turn your palms outwards. We're going to take a breath in, arms up. Breath out, push the arms down. Breath in, arms up. Breath out, arms down. 1 more. Breath in, arms up. Bring light, happiness, a bit of joy for the season into your heart center, into your chest. Give yourselves a clap. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, happy any other celebrations that you like to do. I shall see you in 2023. Have a good one.